We are back with another episode of Legacy Live. I'm Kyle Hosick.
And I'm Kim Fitzpatrick.
And today we're talking about interesting choices. Today we made a choice to think of a topic right when we sat in the chairs.
We did.
And
that was interesting.
Yeah, interesting in the sense that maybe we should have pre-planned, but we like mixing it up. This happened to me on the way here.
Okay.
Turning off of Iroquois Shore in Oakville. Iroquois is a 4-lane road. Trafalgar's I think now 8 lanes in the middle. Turning left, I had to get on the highway, which is on the right-hand side, the on-ramp to come to Burlington. And the person in the left lane beside me, which is the extreme left lane, also needed to take that right-hand turn. And I was looking at her thinking, interesting choice, because now I know I need to either let you in if you go faster than me, or somebody behind me needs to let you in. And at what point on Iroquois were you going to address the fact that you knew you needed to get over to the right?
Right.
And I thought we can extrapolate this and talk about how pre-planning for your future factors in here, how maybe sometimes you got a lot on your mind and that choice is not even on your radar. I like to know as soon as I turn on to Iroquois Shore, I'm in the right lane. I'm good because I know I can make it to the right-hand side easy, and I future-proof my decision-making and my life by arriving at those decisions as soon as I can. So I can be check, and then I stop thinking about it. Do you work that way?
So I really like this conversation. I think that some days I work that way. And then there's other days where maybe life's been too busy or things feel like there's a lot. And then I become more of that reaction rather than the one that's in charge of the response. And I just feel like I appreciate this conversation because it's good for all of us that are listening of how do I plan my day? You said something important, the word future-proof.
Yeah, that's my jam. I love that.
Future-proofing is phenomenal. It starts from the minute you wake up until the entire time before you go to bed. And if you can future-proof your days, you will make different decisions, and here's another example. I was giggling with Kyle before we started this podcast because I was like, sometimes I'm just in deep conversation with Tess and I drive right by Third Line, which is where her cheer gym is. And she's like, Mom, you missed the exit. And I'm like, you're right. But we're so enthralled in the conversation. So it wasn't a choice to miss that. It was just being in the moment of that. But then you're having to, okay, what did that cost me?
Right.
That cost us 5 minutes. That cost us, right now we need to track back now. So again, it's everything is the choice you make. And then how do you actually assess the choice you make, right? Do you think that woman now is oh, I need to make sure the next time I'm on this road that I'm in that lane.
Yeah.
So really, it isn't about necessarily shame or blame or bad, but you've had to really prime yourself to know I'm going to be in that right lane. I'm going to be prepared.
Yeah, I thought about it.
Yeah.
And then you look over at that person and go, how come you don't think that same way? Because now it's on me.
Yeah.
So if you drive past Cheer and you miss Third Line, you haven't inconvenienced anybody else.
Right. No, just Tess.
You get to talk to your daughter more.
Yeah.
And if you're not late, you're not late.
Yeah.
So what? You double back.
Exactly.
This thing is this is not just future proofing for yourself. I'm you're relying on a bunch of other people to change their stuff.
Yeah.
To make this work for you because we thought about where we needed to go, which is another interesting facet of this. And this isn't a right or wrong, but if we're going to talk about stuff on this podcast, I thought this was a good kind of central hub for this.
Yeah. Because
I think there are things where, as much as I want to future-proof, sometimes I'm missing out on things because I'm worried about future-proofing.
Right.
And I'm
give an example.
Where's the middle of that?
Yeah, so give an example.
An
example,
what does that look like? I'm so concerned with future-proofing that I would be do I really like this band you're inviting me to go to the concert of, and the tickets are free and it would be fun to hang out with you for a night, but I don't want to deal with parking, and I know getting out of there after the concert's going to be ridiculously
Is that our age?
horrible.
Is this
Yeah,
our
like I'm
age?
literally like I would be like, sure, here's the deal. I will go with you, but 3 songs before it's over, I'm going to tap you and be like, we're getting out of here right now, right?
Exactly.
And that's like curmudgeonly old man future proofing. But I still love that.
Yeah. I remember too, I said that to Tess. We were at a couple concerts and we were at Pink and I knew it was going to be wild. Tess was like not as invested in it. So we left like in the last song.
Yeah.
And then every concert thereafter, Tess is like, we're not leaving any song.
Right?
And I'm sitting in the crowd,
Yeah.
slightly claustrophobic, exiting out the Taylor Swift concert. But the joy on their faces make it worth that choice. So I think it always comes back to, like you said, it's like, hey, can you make a compromise? I'm going to make this choice. It's going to be phenomenal, but I'm also going to put a boundary in that future proofs your morning.
Yeah.
You're going to get on the train earlier. You're going to get out of there. You're not going to be handling all those things. And then there's other times where you're like, I never get to experience this again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Do you know there's a good comparison I just thought of? You know, like Cash for Life lottery.
Oh, yeah.
So their thing is like, do you want $1,000 a day for life, or do you take the lump sum that is $1.5 million?
Yeah.
Or what? I don't know what the math is,
I
but the
love
lump
this
sum
question.
is always the worst choice.
Yep, always.
Because it's not as much money. Like the only way it's going to work is if you die super early.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you've made the right choice. But a lot of people just go, I'm taking the lump sum.
Yes.
I want that because $1,000 tomorrow. Ooh, I have $1,000.
Yeah.
And you don't see it for like,
Compounding.
yeah, like if you do the math, this is the easy route.
You know, it's kind of also too, and it's almost like, oh, I'm going to wait until I have this paid off to start saving. You can do both.
Yeah.
You can be paying down debt while you're saving. And again, that's the choices you want to make and how you're future proofing how things want to go. One of the things as well, and I love journaling. I'm such a journaler. Sometimes I don't have as much time as I want to journal. So I can even just like free log in my head is a journal sometimes when you're thinking.
Like that.
Right? Like
I think I do that.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't give, and I remember before, like if I hadn't woken up, done my thing by this, written in my thing, said, la, 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 la. Like I was like, I am not successful for the day. Okay, I never did that. But, you know, I'm not successful for the day. And at what point does that choice actually start to inhibit your flow?
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, there's, you know, 5 out of the 7 days, I'm absolutely writing in my journal and I love that. But what I'm learning is that as I evolve and I grow, I love the one that's structured. And then I want a page that's just freehand where I'm just literally writing things out of like what I want. And one of the things I've started to do probably in the last year is really say like, okay, if I'm going to do this today, how am I going to show up as I always have said, I will show up as, and then I'll add that in for the day. So that could be like, I'll show up punctually, like I'll be punctual.
Yep.
I'm going to show up with energy. I'm going to show up with like as much class as I can in this situation. And I future proof that for the day. So that's one thing. Or the other thing I love, and this is all in my Be Here Now journal that I've like really embedded in me. I don't have to memorize it necessarily because I actually do it all the time. So now that's just part of my day. I'm going to show up like this today. I will be this. I want this as an outcome today. And I find that on the days I do that, it goes smoother. Okay. On the days that I'm less like intentional of like, okay, you've got this, you've got this, you've got this, you've got 2 calls. Okay, it's a full day. How are you going to choose to show up? So intentionality of who you're being is a choice.
Yep.
And I believe that gives you, and I like the title of this topic as well, interesting choice. Interesting is curiosity.
Yeah.
Like we're
not saying
curious.
one is bad and one isn't. Like,
like
that
so
woman beside me in her car is not
Yeah.
necessarily any less smart than I am.
Yeah,
But
it's
she got
interesting.
different shit going on.
And that's
And
interesting.
it made me go, what shit are you thinking about?
And I like that perspective because it's also such a compassionate way to view someone else rather than judging, being like,
Well, just know I didn't let her in though. I made her keep going. I was like,
fair.
You're not getting away with that
No.
on my watch. I'm kidding. She made it in.
But I feel like that compassion of like allowing yourself to zoom out and look, gosh, she must have a lot going on when you're trying to cross over 4 lanes of the highway.
Or she's very trusting in human nature. Because I would be like, no one's let me in here. And she's like, oh, people are great. I love people.
It's
and
true.
I'm like, you naive driver. Anyhow.
I like this though, right? I love that. And it's also too, like, that's part of it is, it's like when people are late or you are now,
Yeah.
okay, well, I didn't get over or I'm trying to be this way. That's also like, that's interesting. Is that just the way you are? Is that a
Right.
one-off? Is that just is that part of your character?
I want to go back to the journaling and the free page, because I think choosing to show up that way every day is the $1,000 a day for life.
Yeah, I agree.
Of the two, right? Like that's, you got it every day and you can't lose.
I love
and
that.
that's, if I show up every day that way, I can't lose. And it's only $1,000.
Yeah.
But that's 1,000 and 1,000 and 1,000, then 25 at the end of the month. Like that turns into big money fast.
It does. Our son Colby's away at school, and the coach got and did his like main presentation of like welcome athletes, and their slogan this year is burn the boats.
Okay.
And it's like, we're going to burn the boats of all the things that went before the team last year.
Wow.
We're going to burn the boats.
What's that derived from?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think it's like pirates.
The Odyssey?
You know, like pirates in like the old days where it's like, we are going to go, oh, it is. No, it's actually like not
we got
Napoleon,
a new boat?
but it's like war. Like it's war times where they have to go.
Like a battle cry.
It's a battle cry where like we need to go and fight. We only have 150 guys, but we're going to go fight 2,500.
Cool. Gotcha.
We're going to burn the boats. There's no going back. So we're either going to get in there and win or we're not.
Right.
And that's a choice, right?
Yeah,
That's such a
for
choice.
Sure.
And that's what he said. He's like, he was teaching these guys, right? They're young boys or young men, I should say. And he's like, everything is either a notch up or a notch down, and he referred to it as like, say, as his relationship with his wife, right? He's like, if I'm telling her, gosh, you look fantastic, or thank you so much for preparing dinner for me.
I like the notch up, notch down.
Exactly.
Visual.
He goes, so that's like 3 notches up. He's like, I'm winning right now, and he winked at all the boys. Like, and then he goes, but if I say, to her, why'd you do that? I just knocked it.
Yeah.
I wiped it right out.
Right.
So I like that point of the choices. Like, are you and it's the future proofing. Are you future proofing for your future? Or did you just knock out all the work you just did because of one shitty comment because you're tired and you didn't you didn't think it through and you just reacted rather than like, hold on, is this in alignment with my integrity, my mission, who I am?
Is this going to make things easier for me tomorrow? Is what this is all about.
Yeah, exactly. I like this idea of, and this saying of like, don't cheat on your future self. And what I mean by that, and I'm sure all of us and any one of you listening can think of a time where you've cheated on your future self. So for example, it's like you want to get up and go to the gym, for example, at 6 a.m. or get that run in. But you're like so stuck with the couch and you're watching a Netflix show and you're like, oh, one more. I'm just going to watch one more tonight. Yeah. You're going to satisfy your current self. It's cozy. It's comfortable. Yeah. You can just, zone out. Like it's good. But then what happens the next morning? You actually then have made a decision and a choice to say, I'm going to sit in this comfort now. Like both are hard. To be honest, like both are hard.
Look at
choices.
Smoking cigarettes. Like you just pick one up and go, oh man, this is relaxing. While you're looking down at a pack that has the picture of the person with no teeth. And you go, yeah, this is good right now.
Exactly. This isn't me right now.
And not to rip the smokers, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's really that thought, right? It's like, what are you choosing? Are you avoiding that uncomfortable conversation? Are you trying to, skip the line? Are you trying to, not prepare because you're tired, right? Like we've had a full run right now. Yeah, year. And it's like, but are we prepared? No, we got to get our stuff organized. This is what we're doing. The night before we're prepared, and that sets us up to be successful rather than winging it that next morning.
Well, this is the thing about trying to build a business. Like you could take the shortcut and be like, I'm going to start collecting right now and I'm going to make $40,000 extra this year with this new business because I'm going to take all that money.
Right.
Or you can not take any of the money and put all the time in and put a year into it, knowing that might turn into $1 million business in 3 years. Yep. And that's the cash for life lottery where it's, I'm willing to wait for that and do the time and put it in and because you're like, I can see that there. Yeah. I don't know whether it's 5, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't tell if that's 10 years, 5 years, or 3. But I don't care if it's 5. Yeah. 10 is a long time, and I might make a different choice and be like, give me the 40 right now. Let's go.
Exactly.
But if it's 3, I can wait. I can wait because I'm patient.
And you know, that's such a great analogy, especially in a world where it's like, it's almost like that, like immediate gratification.
A little, I think this is maybe the ultimate second title for this.
Yeah, right. It's like that immediate gratification. Like, are you willing? You know, here's another, I love this example too. And again, it comes to health, but I used to use this with like back in the day when I was coaching more so in wellness, but it still applies to executive leadership. It applies to CEOs. It applies to anybody. But it's like, say, for example, you wanted to release weight. Okay. Say you had a number that you wanted to release.
Lose weight, lose pounds.
I like to say release because if you lose something, it could come back and find you. So I like release because I'm going to release that and that shit's never coming back.
You're taking it to the dump.
I'm taking it to the dump. It's gone, right? Okay. So hypothetically, okay.
All
so
right.
this could
release
apply.
Right.
This could apply in anything. I want to release that relationship. I want to release that contract. I want to release that leaky energy. Okay. It could be any of those things. But I loved this analogy, and it was kind of like this metaphor. Imagine. So for 12 weeks. What would it's kind of like the
you've said this one before. I know
sticky,
this. Yeah,
right? It's sticky.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So you're going to make a decision and you have to, for 12 weeks, you're going to see 0 results.
Yeah.
0.
Yeah,
think how
exact same
freaking hard that would be. It is. And so I want to give you like that little different perspective because to see which one landed, right? It's like, are you willing to wait a year to like see what could happen potentially and you can 10x your results? Or for example, in this 12 weeks, you're not going to lose 1 pound. Nothing will look like it's visibly changing, but everything's changing on the inside. And on the 12th week, the next day, you wake up, goal weight, physique, how you want to feel. You will feel that way, but you have to get through the 12 weeks of no change every day. And the reason why I really like saying this is that it gives you the philosophy of being able to adapt that mentality of master the mundane. Business is the same way. Yeah. It is mundane.
But also not look in the mirror and go, this isn't working, so I give up, right?
Right. And that's what happens. Right. Well, this isn't working. I might as well just go off the rails on Thursday to Sunday because you know what?
I'm going to make an interesting choice today and make the wrong choice.
And then that will. So it's all about just those choices and those refinements of like, okay, what if I just actually do it and keep those promises to myself? Because that is where self-trust is built, right? The choices you make are either adding like those the notches. It's either adding to where you're going or it's completely leveling you out. Yeah. And that's where those are the things I think we as humans have to reconcile inside. And that's where life can get really tough because you're like, oh, I can't go do that business. I can't even keep that promise to myself that no one else knows about. And And it's like really thinking about that. So what could you do, right? We're walking into this next quarter of this year. What could you do that maybe you're not even telling anyone about? You're just like, I'm going to future-proof the hell out of this and I'm going to experiment this and I'm going to do this for myself so that I can say that I've done this. Yeah. You know, I could use the example of the half marathon. I was like, I remember when I ran the 5K as a test, I was like, okay, well, I know that if I don't practice, I will never make it over the finish line of that half. I will, but it'll be a very long day for everyone coming to watch me because we'll be walking together down Toronto. You can't fake your way through a half marathon. You can't fake your way through like you could never fake your way through a presentation with one of your huge, one of Agency One's huge clients because you've had 25 years of choices, 25 years of practice, 25 years of showing up, 25 years of putting in the reps, which equal your reputation. The same thing for me feels like it's happening of the next 9 weeks that I've got to practice. Right. And I like that because I'm like, I've actually never done this. I've always done hard things and I'm very strong and I can handle hard things. But this is actually the most mental toughness I've had to go through. And it's cool because what it's doing is it's actually making me a more refined professional and business partner and mom and mom of a kid that really has huge dreams for his own goals for fitness, like, and his profession. I got to be on that par.
Well, and that's the tough thing about these decisions is you're choosing to make it hard now. And that's why, like that, you look at that and go, well, why would you do that? But the explanation is because I know it'll always be easier in the future. And I would take that choice every day. Because is it really that hard to turn onto Iroquois and go, oh, I know what's coming up here. I'm going to be over here.
Yeah.
I gave that 5 seconds of my life. And I know that's a notch up for myself when I turn left.
Yeah.
That's super easy. And I don't mean to sound like condescending like that, but like, if that's what's hard about thinking about stuff every day, then is it really that hard?
And that is such a great analogy for all of us to take back and actually reflect on what you're doing. Are we taking the easy way out? Are we shortcutting? Are we not being prepared?
Totally.
Are we
Do
all
you know what
those
problem
things?
I had all the time at the end of the year? You're in Ontario, you collect HST as a business. And I would collect it and collect it and collect it. And you're supposed to be putting it aside, like in your own separate account.
Yeah.
I was not doing that. For like 15 years, it took me to get it figured out. Where at the end of the year, the accountant's like, you owe like several $1,000s, 5 digits $1,000. And I would panic.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? I effed this up. Because at the time I was like, next month I'll make enough that it'll cover whatever I'm using this month. This is a perfect example of this.
I love that example.
I've learned to be like, oh shit, I know that payment's coming up. So I actually have more set aside to be like, government.
Exactly.
Try your hardest to put me down. I've been setting aside more than you're going to ask me for. So here you go. And then I have a little bit left over to blow on whatever.
Yeah, I love that. And I think one of the things that's so important about that, did you see how his like energy just got up there? It's like, look at what I'm doing, because you're now knowing that's peaceful. The stress that it causes by not doing that, knowing that you have to deal with that down the road.
That took some punches in the face for like 10 years.
And how many punches in the face have all of you had? Like these are the point. What I really appreciate about this conversation is like, give yourself space to actually think about that. Hey, where am I repeatedly doing things that are easy right now that actually are going to ding me at the end of the year or at the next quarter, or, you know, what I'm doing? One of the things, I was giggling with one of my girlfriends. She's like, yeah, I've got these friends that are like, I've had the best summer vacation. She's like, she said no vacation. Right. And I'm like, we can definitely relate to that this summer. And I had a 100%. Beautiful conversation with one of my girlfriends the other day. And she's like, how's your summer been? Have you just had the best summer? I'm like, well, we've been really building our business. And I know that in 4 years, I'll be able to take a really nice summer vacation. And then she laughed and I said, I'm kidding. But like, of course, I've had our moments of being at the cottage or doing the things or taking time down, but we're not in a season that I'm coveting needing that break. Because I said yesterday on one of my like Insta stories, I was like, listen, have you ever been in a place where you're choosing to be grateful in the tired? Because what you're freaking building, and that's a choice.
But that's grateful in the hard decision making.
And it's a choice. It's a choice to not feel like, oh, I have no time off.
Yeah.
Oh, I woke up at 4 a.m. And I'm not being condescending. Like you said, I'm not. Like we had a deadline.
But hold on.
We had a deadline. I chose that.
But the person saying, oh my God, I have no time off. They might have screwed themselves 6 months ago, and you have no time off right now because you weren't making the good choices back then.
And that's really important to be discerning and thinking about, because that's where when I'm coaching a lot of people, it's like, let's go back to the root of that.
Yeah.
And the root of I have no time off, you get to be resentful, is because you're actually not taking care of yourself. You're not pouring into you. And that's where the rhythm of having to lead yourself. And those are choices that you make every single day.
100%. And they're interesting.
Yeah.